everyone, welcome back to SANE Spotlight. For this episode, we are joined with Jamie Baulch. Jamie, you've had an incredible career so far as a world-class athlete and now as a motivational speaker and successful entrepreneur. For those in our community who might be meeting you for the first time today, can you give us a brief introduction about yourself and your journey and what drives your passion for mental health advocacy?
You've pretty much summed it all up, really. So my former life was an international athlete, won a medal at the Olympics, silver medal at the Olympics, and won 3 gold medals at the World Championships from juniors right through to seniors, and then ended up retiring from sport because I'm an old man now, and basically got into doing fundraising for charity events. So that's what I do up and down the country now and around the world, and got to meet your lovely selves via doing some work with you guys, and the rest is history, really. Absolutely love it.
Wow. So what inspired you to move from like athletics to fundraising for charities like SANE and many other ones all around the world?
So basically I was very lucky that I was adopted. I was from Matlock in England, and then I was 6 months old when I got adopted. I'm mixed race, and my parents, who've raised me, are both white, and they basically gave me the opportunity to be the person I am today. If it wasn't for my mum and dad, then I certainly wouldn't have an Olympic medal or world championship medals. And because of the love they've given me, and they're still around, the love they've given me, how can I put it, is if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be the person I am. And because of that, it's all about giving back. And I think it's my mum have given back, all their lives by supporting me. And now it's like, well, why wouldn't I want to do that for others, which is basically in charity. So that's where their story comes from.
Oh, that's really nice. So throughout your career and through your life as well, you mentioned you're adopted. What's helped you to stay resilient during challenges you may have faced, for example, when you were an athlete or since you were younger to now?
There's been lots of challenges, in life. There's a lot of ups and downs, and it's how you deal with them. For me, I've been very fortunate to have very good people around me, and because of those good people, when I'm on the down, they can lift me up, and when I'm up, they can bring me back down. It's all about surrounding yourself with good people, and I think if you can draw upon that, I think those good people can actually sort of guide you through your life. And I've been very fortunate to have good people around me, my parents, my partner, my family, even my children, and it's I feel very lucky because of that.
Oh, that's really good to know. What advice would you give to people who maybe have been through similar situations to you, and they're struggling to open up to the people around them, for example, their family or their friends? Like what's helped you to open up to the people around you?
It's none of us are superhuman. Whoever we watch, if we watch somebody famous on TV or somebody you may sort of admire, even that somebody you may admire has got their own challenges and problems. There's no one single person on this planet who doesn't deal with hardship at times, whatever it may be, physically or mentally. And so for me, it's just knowing that fact that everyone's got difficulties in life makes things a little bit easier, because the trouble is, in this day and age, we all, there's social media, there's all these things, and we all look, people look at others thinking, oh, they're doing better than me, or they're not, this or whatever. And I think that's the key, is just always recognizing that everyone has their struggles, big or small. And I think if you can understand that and digest it and really take it in, then you may not feel so isolated. You don't feel like you're alone in your struggles. And I've had times when I've been on the floor, and it's been difficult to come back. But it's in the comeback which makes things really exciting, and life is a roller coaster. You'll never be on the up, and it's only when you're on the down and then you go back on the up, which makes life exciting, right? If you were always on the up, if you were always at that level, which was really exciting, then it would be kind of boring. You want to, you want to have the peaks and troughs in life to be able to really experience life. And I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I can see how you're a motivational speaker with that. um, so what sort of tips would you give to people for like staying motivated other than kind of going through the motions? But is there anything you'd kind of say is like, what's like the best piece of advice you've heard or that you've given to people before and why?
Somebody once told me a long time ago, they said, always be yourself. I think if you're your true, authentic self and you take off the mask, then life can become a lot easier. There's lots of times where people put up a certain front and a face, and that becomes tiresome. That becomes very difficult, especially when you're not your true, authentic self. And I think there's some liberation in being your authentic self. And when you are that person, I think you take the mask off, you feel a lot more comfortable. And that's what somebody told me a long time ago. I got asked to do some TV. This was a long, long time ago. And I remember going, oh, I'm scared. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do. And the person said to me, just be yourself. You're an amazing person. I was like, oh. And that was it. And that really simplified everything for me.
That's a really good piece of advice. What are your favorite tips for maintaining your well-being, or like if you're having a down day, how would you kind of boost your like well-being or your self-esteem or things like that, especially considering you're an athlete? How has that changed over the years from then to now, and are there any differences?
Yeah, well, it's a big difference now. I can't do what I used to do. I'm a granddad of two. I've got two children. I'm a lot older now, so I certainly can't run anymore, not to the pace I used to anyway. Advice for that, I would say, whatever sort of day you've got, if you can get out, if you can go to a gym, or if you can go just for a walk, you don't need to enter the gym, but if you can go for a walk, even if it's raining, you've got a coat. Even if it's raining, there's an umbrella to keep you dry. I've always found when I don't feel great, if I just go out for a half-hour walk, by the time I've got in, I feel amazing.
Yeah.
Guarantee. I can guarantee it's almost like morning meditation. You can go out, put some favorite music on, listen to a podcast, and get in that fresh air, breathing through the nose, out through the mouth. By the time you get in after that half-hour walk, whatever troubles you might have had will have dissipated, and you'll be like, how different do I feel now? Just because I've got the heart and lungs going slightly. I don't mean you don't need to run down the road like Mo Farah or Paula Radcliffe. You can just go for a brisk walk, and I can pretty much guarantee you'll feel pretty much better after that. And that's what advice I'd give to anyone.
November is currently Men's Health Month or Men's Mental Health Month. What do you think are some challenges that kind of are barriers for men to speak up and open up and to get mental health support, even just to talk to their friends or family? Why do you think that can be such a challenge for some men?
Yeah, unfortunately, it is a challenge for some men because it's this sort of bravado of manliness. I can't tell people how I really feel. And I understand that. I understand that people may face that in their own way. But the only thing I can say is if you take off that mask and just chat to somebody, there is no judgment. There is no, it doesn't matter. We've all, like I said, we've all got our certain ups and downs and struggles and whatnot. And if you can recognize that just with what's around you, then that will just make it a lot easier for you to open up to the relevant person. And if you can't open it up to a friend or a family, there's people like SANE and there's professionals out there who you can open up to. They don't know you. You don't know them, they don't know you, and you could maybe confide in a person, which takes away that fear of what do you call it? That fear of or embarrassment or anything like that. So there's always somebody you can talk to, always.
Just a final question. What's one thing you would just say to an audience, like one piece of, I guess you said your favorite piece of advice, but what's like one message you want to leave our audience with for today?
So we're not going to be around forever. Just enjoy each day. Just try and take, even if it's not about what car do you drive, what house have I got, what materialistic thing have I got. The great Denzel Washington, the actor, says you'll never see a U-Haul behind a hearse, right? So whatever happens, you know, we've got to live each day and enjoy each day, and just take in the smaller things. If it's just going for a walk and seeing a bird in the sky, or even if you're doing the washing up at home, don't just rush the washing up because you've got something else to do. Take your time and just slow everything down, and just look around and appreciate what's around you, because what's around you is beautiful, you know, and there's lots of beautiful things you can see if you just slow down.
That's really lovely. Thank you so much for taking time to interview with us today. It's been such a lovely conversation to have with you.
He was absolutely magnificent.